Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 1. You know, that guy who was playing Omni Knight last game was a stand-in because now he's on the commentary desk. I believe Katsu is their full-time player. I believe it's Sabral that got not released, it got replaced, but I can't be sure.
Remaining.
In the last game, Dragon Ball Zeus picked a lineup that doesn't scale, and Rankings of the Scrub did.
Radiant
Let's see what happens this time.
Dire team ban.
Again, immediately banning out the Abaddon. DP getting banned out on the opposite side of the coin. It's going to be interesting to see how Scotty lives in a world where he's not going to be able to play that. Hopefully he instantly abandons the game.
Radiant team
That would be funny. No Pudge. No Pudge is going to be had by Rankings with Scrub this time.
Team picked.
And no Undying by Dragon Ball Zeus.
Radiant team picked.
Kicking things off with running that Dawnbreaker back on Rada. I will just be blunt enough to say that it just did not feel like it had a great impact last game. Hopefully it has a little more this time. We'll say the first pick Dawnbreaker is very brave. I feel like he can set up a comp to rub that Dawnbreaker out kind of easily. You know, again, just kind of, Spirit's sniper, as seen in the last game. If you're not going to be able to jump on him every fight, which she wasn't there, he's able to just stay out of your radius and just kill you. Which, in fairness, was kind of the fault of the comp last game, not Dawnbreaker, so I wouldn't recommend that as a normal solution, just in a solution where you're just going to win. Instantly picking up the Disruptor here, which I think is a pretty decent first pick here. Pretty decent opening. Can make a lot of stuff come out of this.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Of course, good against Dawnbreaker. Nothing more fun than Dawnbreaker jumps out of the sky to join a battle and then is sent home. If you want to make Dawnbreaker a walking ult, that's a great way to go about it. At least in the early game, she's going to get that BKB event. Well, she's going to get the shard, but it goes. Got Faceless Void here. A little risky against the Dawn. I think Dawn is a very good Void answer. Is likely not going to be in your Chronos unless something is going horribly wrong. Is going to be able to, especially once the Axe comes out, we know Rada likes the Axe, just kind of hover over your Chronosphere, take away a lot of your damage, and then drop the hammer on your head the second it's over. Very awkward, and there's not really that much that Void can do personally about it, aside from just Chrono her, which is not the easiest thing to do in the world. Dragon Knight, huh? I ain't a Dragon Knight fan, but you know what? I'll take it this game, actually, I think. Wait.
Radiant team back.
Oh god, it's not gonna be Dragon Knight 2, is it? Oh, please tell me that's Dawnbreaker, Scotty, and it's gonna be Dragon Knight 3, please. Oh, I'm begging you guys. Oh, don't do this to me. Immediately banning out Invoker there.
10 seconds
That's interesting.
remaining.
I don't know much about PeePeeEm's player pool, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's an Invoker enjoyer, or if there's like a support Invoker on that lineup. No, Winter Wyvern, not a bad idea.
Radiant team ban.
Immediately banning out the Viper, which is funny. Oh yeah, no Winter Wyvern? Well, we're getting rid of this hero that counters Winter Wyvern. That'll show you. We're banning backwards. No, that's just a ban to protect the Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight is just completely useless in a game where Viper's about.
10 seconds remaining.
If they're gonna do that, they better ban the Hoodwink too.
5 seconds remaining.
It's equally a problem for him here. Really not gonna stand out that much on that comp, I don't think.
Dire team ban.
No Dazzle.
Radiant team ban.
Okay, they were listening to me. Good job, RG. Just don't pick it mid, please. Just don't, okay? You know what? I don't beg a lot, but I'm begging a little bit here. Please don't do Dragon Knight mid.
10 seconds remaining.
It was a good game for him 3.
Remaining.
You know, either he survives the Chronosphere or he drops a fireball in it, which is good. And then you ask, then what does he do? And the answer, at least so far anyway, in fairness, is nothing at all. A small amount of right-click damage and push towers. And tank, but you know. With a lineup with a faceless void on it, the utility of tanking kind of ends when the Chronosphere ends.
Radiant team picked.
Slark is not going to be having his way with you this game. Would be funny if Slark dropped Shard, Cloud, and then Void Chronos and just sits there and looks at all the nobody you can hit. That'd be funny.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Snapfire, okay. That's another thing to throw into that Chronosphere. It's a pretty decent response to the Dragon Knight. Might have some trouble with Dawn, but, you know... Not the worst situation in the world.
10 seconds remaining.
I tell you what, this looks like this could be a
5
great game
seconds
for on
remaining.
Dragon Ball Zeus. It looks like a silencer this game would be really good for them. So far, every single one of their heroes is based on not just casting, but always being able to cast. One silencer can really ruin this for them. Still available as well. It'll be okay on Doom, but Doom needs to be in a good position, and, like, I mean, in a good position on the map, and I don't really think they can afford to pick him. So, you know, a bit of a tragedy there, but... Tidehunter? I guess. That's okay. It's not the worst. Oh, man. It's just... total confirmation. Oh, man. You hate to see it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Unless it's like 5 Dawnbreaker and 4 Tidehunter or something. You can do that, you know? There's still time. There's still time to undo your mistakes. You know, we're still only 3 picks in to pick phase. There is still time to go back on running Dragon Knight mid.
Radiant team picked.
Which... Man, you know, maybe it's Tidehunter mid. That's not really any better, but, you know, maybe it could be. It could be. I'm on the Copium, guys. I just really, really, really hope. I just hope so bad it's not Dragon Knight mid, dude. Everything I want in this world is for Dragon Knight to be not mid. I mean, or pause 1, that would be pretty much equally bad, but don't do this to me, bro. Necro. He's gonna wait. He's never gonna be able to use his W this game, but as long as he acknowledges that, it's gonna be good for him. Necrophos is very, very, very good against the Dragon Knight. I think he's also pretty decent against the Dawnbreaker, you know?
5 seconds remaining.
Physically present Dawnbreaker anyway. He has a little trouble she's ulting into fights, but, you know, if she's actually there, he's pretty good against her.
Radiant
Not bad against the Tidehunter. He tends to build kind of like an HP balloon. No Drow Ranger, no Doom. Assuming Necro mid, it seems. If they're running Necro mid, Dragon Knight really is going to be feeling it this game. It's already going to be a bad... I mean, every game is a bad Dragon Knight mid game, and Dragon Knight mid against Necro mid is going to be insanely bad for them.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, DBZ is very convinced it's a pause 3 that's coming out here.
Dire team pick.
I think it was a scrub looking at 1, which I wouldn't argue with too much, I don't think.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
PeePeeEm
remaining.
does not have the most reserve time in the world to burn through here. I mean, they need a really late pause one. It's just, there's just no bones about it. Like, your mid is going to be done, like, at 25 minutes. Your off lane, no matter who it's going to be done rather early as well. Probably at about the same time. Unless Tidehunter super balls this game, and I just don't know how ballin' Tidehunter is going to be. When the snap fires on the enemy team, when you got the Chrono, when you got the Necro. I mean, no matter how Tidehunter builds, there's going to be a lot of us play this game. We got Sven. Do I like the Sven this game? It's okay. It's going to be somebody who's going to be able to cleave Faceless Void very quickly, probably in the span of like 1 stun. So he's not going to have to worry about the jump too much. He's going to scale pretty decently.
10 seconds remaining.
He's going to find it a little hard to
5
deal with the
seconds
positioning on
remaining.
these heroes, but should be okay. We got a Shadow Fiend,
Choose your
okay.
hero.
I don't know, I don't think I like the Shadow Fiend much either. It's not the worst pick in the world, but I feel like, you know, one of the things that you don't want to show Sven is a high-value, core, like, late-game running mid that dies in 2 auto attacks to a non-Sven hero? Oh, no, bro. Oh my god. Maybe he'll lane swap. Maybe he'll lane swap. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is going to be one of those games. I mean, well, this is going to be certainly, at least, hopefully it should be anyway, very easy lane phase for Shadow Fiend, so at least he has that to look forward to. Even if Dragon Knight rotates, I think the rotations that Rankings of Scrub have are going to be generally stronger. In particular, any rotate, if like Dragon Knight's about to dive and Necro is post level 6 and TPs, then Dragon Knight is dead. Every single time Dragon Knight's going to die, basically. You do a basic. I do feel like this Rankings of Scrub team almost has 2 kind of worlds going on. You have the Void. Usually it's the 3 and under club, but this match you have Void, Snap, and Disruptor who are going to be kind of World A. And you have Necro and Shadow Fiend who are going to kind of be World B. Those 2 sides don't really interact with each other at all. Like Necro really doesn't have anything to do with a Chronosphere except maybe throw a Scythe in at the end. Shadow Fiend can like throw raises in at a distance if he's going to be leveling it at all, and that's basically all you got. Of course, there is, I guess, the interesting scenario of, so what happens if Shadow Fiend gets a big ult and then immediately, like, right after it comes out, the Chrono comes out? That's going to be a lot of damage, but that's really hard execution. And I don't really think that they have the amount of stuns needed to line that up. Like, they're gonna, like, they got basically Arena to make that happen. That's basically it. There's gonna be a very long period of just very tough gameplay for this Dire team. It's like
his brain is so
the
big.
20-minute to like 40-minute range for them. It's gonna be so hard. Mutual tips going out here. It's gonna be so hard for them to exist. Like at the point when Rada kind of stops existing and Dragon Knight stops existing, they're gonna get quite pooped on for a while.
30 seconds to go.
I'm not as pooped on as Disruptor's gonna get here at the rune spot. We're going in here. 5 seconds before Disruptor is virtually guaranteed to die. Now Sven gets body blocked. Sven gets the first blood, then Dragon Knight dies with the tower. Sven getting first blood, though, is certainly not something you can sneeze at this game.
Some things.
Even if it does mean that the other team gets 3 bounty runes. Thank you for TP. You guys are the best.
You look stunned.
But you didn't even TP, Disruptor. Your DK looks dead. Okay. You look way deader, so I don't know what you're going for here. Sven just kind of got beaten up the second he stepped into this lane, which ain't really too surprising. It's going to be a pretty hard lane for Sven, I think. Especially when Snap gets the cookie. Snap gets the cookie, there's going to be a lot of kill potential to be had. Because you can, once Necro, I guess in fairness, Necro does have to get a few more levels in Death Pulse, but eventually it's going to get to the point where Necro can Death Pulse, and then Snapfire uses a cookie, the stun comes out, and the second the stun is over, another Death Pulse comes out. And that's a lot to take. For a lane where Sven is modestly tanky, but mostly to fizz damage, and Lich is really not. It's going to be a very hard lane for Dragon Knight when Presence of the Dark Lord comes out. We do have raises on the Shadow Fiend here. It's not the funny right-click only Shadow Fiend, but which is actually going to make things even harder, because Dragon Knight does not really have a good response in any capacity to that.
His brain is so big.
They're not in the best spot here. It's not actually leveled anything up for 2. Not that he had the mana to do anything, even if he did. I think maybe the play there is just scarf down the Mango's little glimpse, get her out of there. Didn't get the kill anyway, so it's probably fine. But in a situation like that, that's probably what you do. Ooh, almost dropped my mouse there.
His brain is so big.
His brain, so big. Oh, it's a toll being taken. Uh-oh. Dragon Knight is gone. And he gets tipped too. And that's not something you can afford to let happen to you as a Dragon Knight mid. You know, the whole upside of Dragon Knight mid, for the most part, is, you know, you get 2 nice benefits. A, you don't usually have to worry about dying too much. You can just kind of tank the wave, just tank things, get virtually guaranteed last hit, so no matter what, you're going to draw in lane. And B, once you hit 6, you just push out the tower. Well, he's not going to be hitting 6 to push out the tower, and he's certainly not having a very nice lane phase. It's down last hits. It's taking bad trades. Of course, down 2 deaths already. In fairness, the first one didn't really mean anything, but... Ooh, this could be a kill. Rada's run into the range creeps here, or to the jungle camp. Does successfully juke out Ramanolo. Really needs boots if he's going to be trying stuff like this. Yeah, successfully routed out both members of this offlane. Well, I mean, Tidehunter got a ring of health, and Scotty just popped a salve, so not that routed, but it's at least forced him to go through some rations here. Oh, they're gonna actually come back into it. They are gonna get Disruptor, but it's gonna be hard to call this a fair trade if Rada dies for it immediately. No, Void hesitated! Oh, you definitely can't do that. It's gonna be super unworth it if Void just also dies!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wow. That's why you don't hesitate. You do not retract those right clicks. Meanwhile, though, the top lane also just loses too, in the safe lane, so those safe lanes just died in total. Though, I don't think Wizard is going to let himself die quite as easily as Tide unfortunately did there. This is going to need to be a little careful here. Yeah, that's an example of why I pictured here. Very fortunate for him that Lich was not around to look at that. Dragon Knight is missing. He's also down 10 last hits. 4 denies. And most of a level. Things are not going so well for the Dragon Knight here mid. Been doing the pole camp. Gonna take some damage for his troubles. No surprise here, Sven is both safe lanes really are at a kind of a dearth for any sort of farm so far.
Is under attack.
Both cores of bot here sitting on very low amounts of health. Boy, he's gonna eat up, try and get some back. Meanwhile, Wizard is just straight up flagrantly diving the tower at top to try and force these two to get the hell out of lane.
Tower is under attack.
That's exactly.
I don't know if Molsky realizes the danger he's in. I don't know if Necro's gonna get 6 out this way, but if he does, Molsky's gonna die instantly. Now he is choosing to back off now. Perhaps he's realized this, I don't know. Dawnbreaker eats the Radiant's full camp and then tips Disruptor and says his brain's big. Okay, Dawn. Your brain big commentary is really, I don't know, I don't really understand it, I must say. Necro has hit 6. Just thought about TPing somewhere and then ultimately decided not to. Okay. Okay, goodbye, Sven. Wrong place to be! At the wrong time. Dragon Knight's gonna come in, but that is shard. He really cannot do anything to Wizard yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Especially with Wizard sitting on a cloak. He does not have the full hood yet, but he's going to very soon, and when he does, it's gonna be a lot harder to kill for quite a lot of this game. Still going to be very vulnerable to magic damage no matter what. There's just so much of it going around on that side, but Peter is going to take this T1 here very easily. Necro has finished his hood.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Actually, offensively glyphs to keep their wave alive. Definitely wants it right now. Not easy to argue with that. He did have the illusion for it and everything, so. Was there ever a time it's when the other guy is gone and you're Shadow Fiend with an illusion rune, you know? Wizard is feeling no fear at all from Dragon Knight here, as in fact, inviting him to stay in this lane. I assume waiting about 30 seconds to wipe him off the face of the earth. Man, this is very ballsy on his part to stay. I mean, ballsy on Dragon Knight's part, really. Wizard has the balls to let him stay. Wizard has the balls to not just stay in the mid tier. Gotta get back, but what would really be great is Snapfire hitting 6 right about now, but that does not look like it's very likely. Swinging a miss on the raise. Rada getting out of here by the very skin of his teeth. Snapfire, deep operations here in the enemy jungle. Kinda scratching Dragon Knight's back while he tries to farm this camp out. Oh!
His brain brain is
Pete
so big.
stayed around to try and get the kill. That was very greedy. It was the reason I looked away, bro. It's not happening. Let it go. First Corona of the game gets dropped on Sven, who is trying to go off lane here. He is tired of trying to fight this safe lane, and that did not work out well for him. Katsu needs to just turn around and just let this happen. Like, he's going to die, almost certainly. Oh no, dude! Oh no, dude, where was the ult? You saw him soul ring!
A gift from the tempest of battle.
There we go. Well, that was a very, very hesitated Necro ult there. I think a faster one would have let the Snapfire live. Probably just gonna run at his back and beat him up. Run it very fast compared to the Necro here, but really does not matter much at all. Look at the net worth chart. Yeah, that ain't what you want to see. Oh, lots of bad stuff happening here on this net worth chart if you're a Dire fan. Dragon Ball Z fan this game. Oh, Rada's just randomly gonna die at top too. He's also gonna stick around too. There's a reason I keep cutting away from these lanes, guys. You know, when I cut the camera away, it means that you should turn around and not keep trying to kill whoever you're running at. Promise you things work better that way. Top T1 going down. Shadow Fiend is about to wipe Lich off the face of the earth. Goodbye, Lich. Volsky cannot be happy to have that happen to him. And then Snapfire pings Shadow Fiend. What the hell, man? That's basically a war crime, says Snapfire. I know, says Peter.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dragonite getting bullied around by Disruptor in the middle lane. Oh, really do not like to see it. Dawnbreaker had 12 minutes, nearly as many lasted as the pause 3. Consistent problem. Dragonite just finished his treads. Oh god. We're gonna make a go on the Void here, right down to using the Titan ult. This is a success. Well, I was about to say, unfortunately, the same is going to be said in kind, except the stupid ogre is going to stun Shadow Fiend and stop any hope of that. And then we're gonna say some stuff I don't understand. I do not speak this language.
Tower is under attack.
DP is still balanced. Not in this game though. DP is not anywhere to be balanced here. Shadow Fiend looking at the Dawnbreaker here, kind of unwittingly actually. Doesn't really realize she's around. If the Radiant is kind of gathering for a fight, but kind of not at the same time. Again, it kind of reminds of the last game where, you know, feels like the comms on Radiant aren't too great. It feels like everyone's just kind of got their own battle plan going on. Tidehunter has just finished his hood, which means he's going to be a lot less scared of Necro.
Not on my watch.
Dragonite has not finished his hood, and therefore he should be. He's actually got infused raindrops and is trying to go for blank. Honestly, I don't think it's going to do him any good this game. I think if, like, he needs more before he can blink, or else he's going to blink, stun, and die. That's going to be his contribution to fights. Radiant's Vision game, their own jungle, very weak. Dire has effectively flushed them out with wards here. Shadow Fiend. Looks like old RG kind of smelled what was happening there, just started getting the hell out of town before anything went down. Ran all the way back to his mid T2, actually. Steam's now here to help.
Radiant's
Except
top
Tide
tower
Hunter's at
is
top.
under attack.
Maybe that's not exactly the guy you want to be solo here. Well, that sucks. That Tide Hunter was certainly dead at that arena. That disruptor. I don't even know what key it is. That's how often I've been calling it the arena. The E. I figured it was the E. That disruptor arena fell up.
Gold for me.
I'm sorry, I've been playing this game and calling it that for a really long time. I think it's the static field is what the skill is called. Let's confirm that. Yes, it is. No, it's a kinetic field. I was so confident that it was that I lied to everybody. Alright, just gonna walk at Snapfire and right clicker, and Snapfire is going to respond to this with an artillery barrage. That doesn't really... Okay, it's starting to get a bit now. Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about! It's a good Tide Hunter ult, though. Just wasted a bit of that Chronosphere, but, hard to see that mattering much.
Radiant's middle
This
tower
is still going to be a, 3-for-1 trade. Sven is going to be farming through that, which is good. But also, Void just got a lot of those kills, which is less good.
Dire's bottom tower is
There's
under
one bit of
attack.
good news. I don't think there was a Scythe in that fight. I mean, there couldn't have been. It would be on cooldown right now, so, you know, there's that. The downside is that means that they just lost that badly a 3v4. Which ain't good. Necro got a Radiance already. Good God. Link Dagger on the Dragon Knight. Snapfire is just making a mockery of people this haste rune. Just finished a Medallion of Courage, which is actually going to be, I think, a quite big item this game, especially when it turns into a Solar Crest. It's going to mean that both Void and Shadow Fiend are going to be beating the hell out of people. We're just kind of walking into each other here. This Radiant jungle has still got plenty of dire wards in it. Interesting observation there. I don't know how important of an observation it is to make, considering that the part of the support crew is dead, but you know. And Ramanolo is gone as well. I mean, that's the interesting thing about this particular game. You know, it's probably not got much more than sentimental value for this particular lineup, since so many of them are gone now. Necro is just fearlessly walking up here. Disruptor is fearlessly missing another one of those things again. Necro doesn't have to be afraid of anything, though. He's got this stupid thing, so it's fine.
Double damage.
That is the most casual static storm I have ever seen. If you were wondering at home how much it got done, none. Nothing. Wait, he's just kind of casually pushing up to the top here. Well, Dire are positioning themselves for a fight they're not actually going to get to take, more than likely. You're gonna maybe fall on the Necro here? Yep, looking like it. Okay, no, this is actually going really bad for the Dire. Goodbye, Tide Hunter. Gets a scythe right on his face.
Greet the Reaper.
And, old... Too late on that, I think. Snapfire's gonna artillery barrage it out, though. Artillery is also going to fall on poor Dawnbreaker, who has to just sit in this Chronosphere and die. This two worlds concept that they've got working on this Radiant lineup are going pretty well for them so far. Like, so far, whenever the Chronosphere has not been up, the Shadow Fiend and the Necro have been able to quite handily carry out everything they want to get done. Have been able to quite handily make a mess of the enemy team. And then when the Chrono comes back up, it's just pretty easy pickings with the support line helping him out. This is looking like a very hard game to turn around for the Dire, especially considering they don't really just have anybody that I feel is going to be very capable of doing that. I mean, this is not a mid-Dragon Knight. I mean, it is a mid-Dragon Knight. This is not a mid-Dragon Knight inventory for this time of the game, though. We're going to see a little bit of this action here. We're going to casually lose the Shadow Fiend in the wake of this fight. We're going to be making some feast for some flesh flies here. We're going to lose a lot of people here. Still actually have to kill the Necro, though. That's easier said than done. So Wizard's just going to get a very casual ultra kill for himself right there by just doing Wizard stuff, just sitting by the fight, hitting buttons. Routes out Sven, nearly dies. So yeah, the best possible fight that the Radiant just could have just taken, where the Dire could have just taken, getting an ambush in friendly territory with all of Radiant's ults down, they still only traded equally. That is not looking great for them. Especially considering that they did have to use all their ults in kind. Could this be the end of Tidehunter? I like the cookie there. The answer was yes. Shadow Fiend and the support club just completely decimate the poor watermelon. That ain't great. That ain't a great thing to have happen to you on the top net worth guy on your team. Fairness doesn't mean that much. He did just get passed on top chart net worth. There's one bit of good news, at least the disparity, shall we say, on how the farm goes on this team is not as bad as it has been in other games. You know, the cores are very distinctly ahead of their supports this time, which is good. Taking Roche here. Always good to do for the Void team. This definitely should go to Shadow Fiend, though. Yep. Oh, it's hard enough to kill this guy once without losing your whole team. Let's see you do it twice. They just saw that, right? They know they're smoked. Vladimir's just came out on Dawnbreaker, who has yet to receive the Wraith Pact. Very interesting cold feet there. Radiant did not want to go uphill even though they were taking a 6v3. It's probably okay. Another offensive glyph here, just trying to keep these range creeps alive to kill the T2. Wizard feels no one but himself.
Top tower has fallen.
Dragon Knight does a funny dance and everyone looks at this T3. We're definitely gonna get at least some damage on this. Nobody's actually here yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this is a good pushing team with the Snapfire on it. In fact, gonna get most of this T3 before anything even starts. Tidehunter sent away, but not before he ults. It's actually what he wants, so maybe that wasn't the oh, this is a Chrono. Big Chrono here. Big Snapfire ult coming out to follow. Tidehunter is bought back, but without his ult, I mean, what's he really gonna do? Nothing much is the answer to that. Turn around and oh, he doesn't have mana. Sad. Scythe somebody, bro! Finn is just getting the crap kicked out of him. Everyone's going after the Shadow Fiend here, but they're finding it very hard to actually get that job done. And the Scythe has finally come out, and that's Rada's dieback. They're gonna get the revenge kill on the Shadow Fiend at least. let this T1 or T3 here live another day. But that was a hell of a lot of investment for that. Actually, no, surprisingly little. It's just that these guys are so far behind. They didn't need to buy back. They just naturally respawned in the time of that fight. Let's look at the hero level chart. Yeesh. Oh my God, Sven level 12. Wait a minute. Okay, there's that. I was about to go on another rant again, but no. Why is Finn so low level? That's very interesting to me. He hasn't been present for a lot of fights and it hasn't been going well, but I've definitely seen him jungling a lot. What's been the issue? Very interesting scenario. Necro going for a Shiva's guard here, just I guess in case this Sven ever decides to mean something. Try to know. It's gonna be tough. Very, very far behind, and like at the end of the game, by the time Sven's gotten caught up, and Necro has in fairness probably fallen off by this point, by that time, you know, it's gonna be both Void and the Shadow Fiend he has to deal with. Chrono as well, included in that mess. That's going to be a very, very tall order. Especially if the game goes long enough where Disruptor Axe comes out, which would make that even worse. Rada tries to go on the Shadow Fiend there, who ironically I'm pretty sure just dodged with the illusion rune he just got. Gets an ult off, only really does anything to the Dawnbreaker, but the Artillery Barrage to follow certainly has a lot more to say. Dragon Knight is going to eat the support in the back line and then die immediately. Dawnbreaker buys back to try and get a... well, that was a wasted chrono. To try and get some revenge going on here, but without any detection, Shadow Fiend is going to be a-okay. Shadow Fiend, though, is, despite being very low health, is actually going to turn around and try to go back in the fight, which might end up costing him his life. Faceless Void and Necro chasing the rest of the team down while it happens. Dawnbreaker TPs, and that's this fight down. That's a full wipe. Dawnbreaker did buy back, but make no mistakes, that's a full wipe on all they ever lost his Disruptor after he ulted. This is looking very done. I don't know why Shadow Fiend's not with the team. Just go get healed by Necro, bro. I know he doesn't have a locket, so his healing's kind of poo-poo, but just go get healed by Necro, bro. Disruptor is going to come back in on the outpost at least, so there's that. Chooses to refill bottle off of the Disruptor, in fact, rather than get healed by the Necro, who is now TPing out, which means that despite getting that full team wipe, they ended up getting 0 objectives. Which isn't good. Kind of reminds me of some of the early Hunter Bounties games from the last season. Hey, they went on to win the whole Monty, so that's wasted BKB, totally. So that's good, but... okay, goodbye Disruptor is just going to very casually eat it here.
You're dead.
Why? I don't know. This is a very interesting situation. I know they don't have Chrono, but they have the Shadow Fiend ult and the Snapfire ult, and they really don't need much more than that. I don't know what's the hesitation here. Everyone kind of acting here like the enemy lineup has some very big things to fear, when in reality they have an underfarmed Dragon Knight with no damage items.
Time is money.
I mean, there's Shard if you want to count that. Like, he's got BKB. You know, has a small strength component. But for some reason, I've never heard anyone say, I need damage, I'm going to build a BKB. Even as a strength hero. Everyone cools back, starts farming, which is in fairness in the favor of the currently winning team. You know, they are the Dire's litany of early game heroes plus Sven are not going to make this work for them. But on the other hand, it's really just doing nothing but giving a rather doomed team some time to step back and recuperate from the brink of death. I think definitely these guys could afford to be a little bit more aggressive and play a bit less cautiously. Well, not cautiously, perhaps. You always want to play with some caution, but less hesitantly. You know, you could be more forward with the ground that you're taking. You can be a little bit more ballsy than this. You can walk into the outpost and immediately turn off your Shadow Blade. See you in 30 seconds. At 15 to be fair, but you know. I mean, honestly, with this DD, look at this tower. Just go hit that once, bro. But he's not going to do that. He's going to walk away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And let the tower get saved for another time. Sven just stunned the creep wave. Disruptor just glimpsed him for no reason, and he went 3 inches anyway. Very interesting plays all around. And again, Necro just cutting out of here, saying, nothing's happening, so I'm going to go farm. Building himself up a strength blink, does not want to see anybody blinking away from him anytime soon. While his team does Roche, and Dire is scanning it out, they're way too late to do anything about it. They're going to be moving that direction, though. Should have been a shard out of that Roche. Everything to immediately eat it, I guess. And, well, bad news for Sven. Bad news for supports on the Radiant's backline, as Dragon Knight just casually eats them. And then dies himself. Shoutouts to every team fight in this game so far. Lich here is actually eating people quite handily, but what doesn't matter, everybody's dead.
Don't be afraid to leave your friends to die.
Do not be afraid to leave your friends to die, people.
You are a true friend.
And yeah, I mean that's got to be it, right? Like the team with no late game is at a 26k deficit. This is really, really, really bad.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Whoa.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Trucker throwing
Dire's
some
middle
balls out
barracks
here
has
up
fallen.
at the top lane. Well now, it's Sven.
Dire's
Disruptor!
tower has fallen.
Alright, Disruptor saves Sven, maybe? Okay, Disruptor saves Sven. That's a little cringe. Dragon Knight does die again though, so.
Dire's
Wizard
top
is
barracks
actively
are
spawn
under attack.
camping people. Dragon Knight is back.
Dire's
He's got
top
no ult.
barracks has fallen.
For 3
Dire's
seconds,
top
in
barracks
fairness.
has fallen.
So we'll be up by the time it's time to defend the T4s. Wizard is going to be quite rude to him.
Tower is under attack.
It's basically all assumed BKB. Oh no, Void here. Void almost died to a Lich ult alone. Dragon Knight picks out the supports in the back line. Where have I heard that one before? But unfortunately, the second the cores show up, it's kind of what they call over. I know nobody wants to say GG in the LD2L, it feels like, but I mean, look at this, bro, just ended. There we go. G's are called, we're getting out of here. And that means that poor Dragon Ball Zeus is 0-4 this season, aren't they? Oh dear. I will say this, I do not think that, unfortunately, I do not think that the rankings of a scrub looked that strong in victory. Not like that really matters anymore. In fact, I'm not even going to do a post-game analysis on them because too many of these guys are gone. Except PeePeeEm is definitely trying to play Pause 1 from Pause 2 this game. But that's about it. Wizard is a 3, though. Wizard as a 3 definitely seems to be working quite well for them. He had a rough Slardar game last time that he ended up turning around to his advantage, and here as Necro he went 16-0-16. And what is in fairness a good Necro game, but what is in unfairness also a game with a Sven and a Tidehunter and a Lich on the other team, so that probably should not have been allowed to happen. It's a great Necro game offensively, a horrible Necro game defensively. He died 0 times, though. Dragon Ball Zeus ended the game with Dawnbreaker having nearly as much money, in fact only a 200 gold difference from the Tidehunter, and has like 60% of the amount of last hits as him. This needs to change. These, like I just did this, the other game these guys did, Scotty cannot be consistently ending this game with like a core amount of money. You cannot have two guys, and this is what the real situation is. You have two guys playing Pause 3.5. It's not as good as having a 3 and a 4. I promise you it's not as good as having a 3 and a 4. You gotta really see it with how things are going for Tidehunter this game. Shift 2,000 gold off of Dawnbreaker onto Tide. Shift 3,000 gold even. This is a very different game for him, and I think maybe a different game in general. Again, like I said in the Week 2 games, which even though they're going to be uploaded the same day, are going to be... I did do this one after that one, because that one I had a guest commentator for. But I mean, a guest commentator, another commentator, rather. Yeah, I don't know, bro. This Dragon Ball Zeus team seems to have some steps they need to be taken. So, but like I said, kind of a worthless to do much analysis on this game, though, because so much of this team is gone next time we see them. So, if you're somebody you know, want to learn Dota 2 on a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2lgg.gg now to sign up. Pause 3 Dojo is going to start after Week 3. Appropriate time to start, no? That's it. That's really all we got this game, so until next time, we'll see you around.